live. 3.
We'll do it live.
2. 1. Kick it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 167 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
You actually, I hate you because you got me laughing going into the intro because you pulled a Bill O'Reilly from the back days at was it Current Affair?
Probably.
I think that was the name of the show. We'll do it live. That's all I fucking started.
We'll do it live. No, this is our first true fuck it episode. We've had a lot of fuck it episodes in the past, but they've never mattered.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, today
this is gonna matter. This is gonna matter a lot. So, folks, NerdPod Generations 167. This is the first time listening to us. Please go back and listen to our back catalog. We have 166 episodes of pure gold, including the last 2 prior to this were our watch and reviews with Superman and 28 Years Later. So we have a lot of things going on. A lot of things we talked about. We do have a website. Go to nerdpodgen.com. There are links on the front page to not only the most current episode, but also links to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel where Al puts up clips from some of our past shows and more recent shows. And, there's little snippets about us, and you can kind of see what else we do on the side.
I'm going to take out this little moment, this momentary pillow, and be like, you know what's really interesting about the YouTube channel is that our Superman non-spoiler review has more views than any of the other reviews for Superman that we put out. So people were interested, but didn't want it to be given away.
Interesting.
Right?
Very interesting.
I think that's interesting.
So the reason why Al led off our episode the way he did is so Al and I both have very strong views politically, religiously. We don't want to really bring them in. Every now and then we'll have little snippets and say little things.
Yeah.
But with what's going on with our current government and how it's affecting us as far as what we do with our show, we figured we needed to talk about it.
There's something happened, and it was a crossing point at which I was like, when Kelly told me about it, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, the internet's not going to allow that. And then it happened.
Yeah.
And
so
I went,
fascism is taking hold because people are not having the balls until, and we'll get to this at the end, two gentlemen did have the balls to stand up.
A little bit more than the balls.
Most people don't have the balls to stand up to what's going on with Donald Trump and how he's using the government to hold corporations hostage to say and do what he wants, even though he was the big free speech guy. Now he's using the power of the presidency to squash free speech for anyone that speaks out against him or has views opposite of him.
Yes.
Which is 90% of society.
And increasingly.
Yes. So the big thing one of the bigger catalysts for this, we knew that there was this issue going on with CBS and Paramount, where Paramount was trying to merge with another company, Skydance Media. And Paramount needed the FCC approval, which is the government, and they were being held up. And partly it was this 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris where they said her interview segment was edited down to make her look better, even though that is how segments are done because you cannot air the entire segment. They do have to edit down answers.
Yeah.
Her answer got to the point, and so they edited out the remainder. Trump made a big deal of this, even though every single interview he ever does on Fox News or any other channel does the exact same thing, including a famous clip where he was asked if he would release the Epstein files. He said yes, they cut away, but the full thing is him saying yes, well, maybe not that one because it'll make people look bad who maybe shouldn't type of deal.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's this big thing. The lawsuit had no merit. He never would have won. But it served his purpose because CBS and Paramount knew the only way they would get approval is to give him was it $16 million that he won from them, and allow this merger to go through. Well, the CBS giving $16 million was bad enough, and then they go and they cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Not just the Stephen Colbert part.
No.
The entire Late Show that was started by David Letterman more than, I think 3 decades ago.
It's at least 30 years ago.
It's done forever. Even though Colbert was number one, he was destroying Fallon, destroying Kimmel, destroying everybody.
This was the thing. this was the thing that really pissed me off, is that this is so blatantly and clearly an attack on Colbert for things that he said about Trump. And there is no way to really look at this any other way.
No.
Even though CBS would have you believe that this is a financial decision, that this is being done because the show is too expensive to produce, which is insane. That's crazy. That's a crazy excuse to try and pull on us. It's the #1 show in late night. It is a machine for publication and promotion. It is legendary online. It is beloved by new generations. When I remember in 2011 watching Letterman and being like, the Late Show format is going to die.
Yeah.
There's no way that this is going to appeal to millennials in the next 10 years. Well, the way that you make it appeal to millennials is to fully change everything about it.
I agree.
And that's what they did. And the idea that CBS is doing this and then pulling this bullshit shenanigan of like, oh, but it's because they weren't successful enough. Fuck that. They were the most successful.
Yeah.
They were way more successful than anybody.
So.
You were pulling in scads of cash off of this, okay? The idea that you're getting rid of your entire late night programming, so what's going to be on at 11:30? A little inside baseball, I program for these shows. That's my job. My day-to-day is to put ads on TV. And so I'm putting ads on TV for Colbert and for the Taylor Tomlinson show and for fucking CSI and NCIS and BBQ and XXY and, you know, all these other stupid CBS shows. And there's no way that this is losing money. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way. I've worked on all kinds of accounts. I've covered all kinds of accounts. Almost unanimously, they were advertising on The Late Show because it was an incredibly safe advertising haven.
Yeah.
There was very little likelihood that anything was going to be said or done that was going to offend the sponsors. And the only way that you were kind of in any way in danger is if you didn't have a sponsorship with Colbert, he might make fun of you.
One thing that I think makes them saying it lost money disingenuous is I know a lot of shows like them, Saturday Night Live, Kimmel, you name it, they make a lot of their money because their clips get put on YouTube, and the clips have advertisement, and those clips make a lot of times more money than the actual show.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're including that. And what I appreciate about Jon Stewart, which for those of you who have not seen The Daily Show this past Monday, holy shit, Jon Stewart was amazing. And he laid it out. And he even said, your evaluation for your company, I think Paramount and CBS is worth like $5 billion or something like that. Your evaluation is because of shows like The Colbert Show that made you this viable.
Why do you think you're pulling in money hand over fist? It's because of shows like this.
It's not because of the show that we are unfortunately boycotting, which is Star Trek Strange New Worlds. For those of you who know, Al and I have been hyping this up. This is my favorite show on TV.
By far.
I will not watch it.
This is my guaranteed safe space.
Yes, exactly.
This was like, for all of the things with Andor and everything else going on, it was always a haven.
Yes.
It was either a fun episode where, like, the complaint is that the Klingons are a boy band when they should have been a metal band. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, great. I love that. That's my complaint. That's my complaint about the whole episode. That's great. And that number 2's song with Kirk is terrible.
Yeah.
It's not a Rebecca Romaine problem. It's a writing problem.
Yeah.
Or you have, like, the great episodes where it's just, like, high science fiction. Let's land on this planet where people forget everything every 12 hours.
Oh, such a great episode.
Oh, my God, this is great. And because of this, we have to say no.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to talk about South Park in a minute. The great irony of all of this is that I was going to get a Paramount Plus subscription.
Yes.
Just for Strange New Worlds. That is no longer happening. And because of that, I also couldn't watch the episode of South Park that you wanted me to watch because, in a twist of irony, it's only available on Paramount Plus.
Yes. Well, that's the thing about South Park. So the only reason I did watch it is I had preemptively got Paramount Plus for Strange New Worlds, and so I had canceled it, but I still had it through, I think, the first week of August.
Yeah.
So when I saw online the day after South Park aired, people saying, you need to watch this. Period. End of story. You need to watch this show. I said, you know what? I know I'm boycotting Paramount. I'm boycotting CBS. I know it'll be difficult for you because of Bills football. It's on CBS.
Yeah.
I love CBS This Morning. It's one of my favorite shows. I used to love watching it. I'm not watching it anymore. I'm done with CBS. I will not watch football on it. I will not watch TV on it. I will not watch anything on Paramount Plus. I'm done with them. Yeah. I'm completely done with them. And I know I'm a small fish compared to all the viewership, but I hope more and more people do what we are doing.
No, I hope so too.
Now, I want to talk about South Park. Yeah. So, you saw the end ad.
Yeah, I did.
Rich, okay. So, for those of you, this is going to be spoiler-filled, but once again, I highly recommend going and watching the show because this is the example. On my drive here, I was listening to a show where they were discussing all of the different organizations that are settling with the Trump administration. Columbia University, so a bunch of law firms. Nobody has had the balls. Harvard, as of right now, still does because they're trying to fight him. But nobody has had the balls to stand up to this spineless, gutless, wussy little tyrant and say, no, this is not how it's done. We're not going to stand for it. You are an absolute worthless piece of shit.
Yeah.
And as a civil servant, for those of you who believe he is a god, he is a civil servant, we have the right to walk up to him and say, you are a douchebag, and spit in his face.
Yeah. We have the duty.
You can't spit on him because that's assault, but you can go up to him and tell him he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, we have the duty to remind him of that when he does these kinds of things because Lord knows I'm so frustrated with Democrats writ large. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much a Democrat only so that I can vote in primaries. Mm-hmm. I'm not really aligned with most of the Democratic Party because most of the Democratic Party has become centrists. Yeah. And, Joe Biden is one of the most successful Republican presidents of my lifetime. Mm-hmm. He got nothing done. What did he get done? Anything? Nothing.
Well, the infrastructure was pretty big. Even though they're rolling back a lot of it now. See, that's the problem. A lot of these politicians, especially the presidents, they'll get some stuff done in their administration, and then the next guy comes in and just rolls it all back.
Yeah.
So, what's the...
But except Biden didn't do that. That's the problem.
That's true.
Is that Biden didn't get rid of ICE. Biden didn't stop kids in cages. Biden didn't do any of the things that he was supposed to do.
That is true.
And that's why I'm so angry at him all the time, is because anytime you see ICE on the news, Biden could have done something about that. Yeah. He actively chose not to.
And we're not going to talk about the whole Merrick Garland thing. So
3 seats. You're not going to fight on any of them. 3 seats, and you're not going to fight on any of them.
Yeah.
Bold decision.
And you're going to wait 4 years to press charges against a guy that sent an insurrection starting. So South Park.
Yes.
Once again, spoiler filled. So South Park starts with it was the first episode of season 27, which is
incredible.
Killed me to say that. Now, mind you, this is 2 days after Matt Stone and Trey Parker signed a $1.5 billion extension with Paramount to be the sole provider or the sole streaming platform for the new episodes. It starts with Cartman waking up trying to listen to NPR, but it was canceled by Donald Trump. And Cartman's pissed, not because Trump canceled it, but because he can't listen to liberals and people cry and whine. That was his favorite thing, because part of the through line of this show is Cartman is the most racist, worst human being on the fucking planet.
They have him do the worst thing and then get a shovel and keep going.
Exactly. And that's Cartman. This all rolls into him going into school, and PC principal is now still PC, but he's a Parishioner for Christ principal. And his thing is bringing Christ back to schools. And he actually has Jesus, who's a character on South Park, come to the school. Yeah. And everyone's like, why the fuck is Jesus in schools? So you're getting that awesome side of the debate.
Yeah.
And then it rolls into Trump. Holy shit. So for those of you that remember how they had Saddam Hussein, little figure, photorealistic face, with a mouth moving like Canadians.
That is
Donald Trump. They use the same voice. They use the same body. They just put Trump's face and then the black suit. And him walking around complaining because a guy that's doing a naked painting of him made the penis too small. And he goes, well, that's what the picture shows, sir. He's like, nah, I'm going to sue you. And everything is, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. Oh, my God. And then they have him, like Saddam Hussein, when he goes to bed at night, gets in the bed with Satan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap. Like, they truly just made him Saddam fucking Hussein.
Yeah.
Which was incredible in every way.
I mean, that's where we're going. That's the ship that we're on right now.
Oh, no, it's absolutely going. But to see it so viscerally, and like when he's laying in bed with Satan, he has no pants on, and he has this tiny little donger, and Satan's making fun of it because it's so small. So the whole episode is them making fun of Trump being a whiny baby with a tiny penis.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. Like, I think this is it's going to go down in history as one of the more important episodes, because one of the things it did, and the thing I've been most enjoying listening to, is a lot of the podcast bros, Joe Rogan, all of them, who were so into Trump before he got elected because they're idiots.
Yeah.
And they didn't look at anything he did in the past.
They think it's a meme. They think it's a joke.
Thought it was a joke that, he fucks, so we like him.
It's a bit.
But then after he gets elected, they're like, well, why is he taking
Doing
people
this?
from, why is he taking grandmothers who have lived in this country for 50 years and deporting them? Why is he doing, he said he was going to do this, but
he always said he was going to do this.
And the whole Epstein thing has really pushed them away. But listening to their reaction to this, and the reason why I'm excited about that is a lot of voters who are these young brain-dead guys who listen to these shows, listen to Trump, believe everything he says.
Yeah.
They are massive South Park fans.
Yeah.
They love that show.
Because anything that is considered quote-unquote edgy.
Exactly.
What do all these things have in common? They're quote-unquote edgy.
Yes. And this is what like I said to you, this is the thing that Democrats and the other side of the aisle, I'm an independent, I lean definitely more left, but that whole side, one of the biggest complaints from voters is that they're too weak.
Yeah.
And that is 1,000% the truth.
I am so mad. I want to, while we're talking about Democrats, I want to pull over to the side here and use my small but important soapbox to declare that Chuck Schumer is a fucking fraud and an asshole.
Awful.
He is the problem. Chuck Schumer is the problem. In the same way that all the things that we were just talking about were united by the phrase edgy.
Yes.
The one thing that has been united over the last 25 years is Chuck fucking Schumer, who has been in power, in a position of power, the entire time.
Yeah.
Chuck fucking Schumer.
Yep.
Who is in a position of the highest power of his station currently. Yep. He can't get any higher until we take over majority of the House. Chuck fucking Schumer.
But I'll be honest, so is, I can't think of his name, the dude in the Congress, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
Even him. Like, when Trump got into office and there was all this stuff coming out about him with the, everything that's going on in the wars and whatnot, which I don't even want to talk about the whole.
Oh my God, we don't have time to get into that.
don't have time to get
but it makes me so mad that I'm going to tear an axe off the wall and march there myself and take care of business.
But like these guys, they're just, as much as they want to be politically correct and as much as they want to be on the high ground, the thing that always pissed me off about how people look at politicians now, you're not supposed to like your president. You're not supposed to like your congressman or your senator. You're supposed to respect their job. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to like them because if they're doing their job, they're doing things you don't like, because it's not just about you and what you like. It's about all of the voter base.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that we have desperately lost now. Mm-hmm. And these people that just look at their politician as if they are just like infallible and just the greatest thing. And the problem with the Democratic Party now is they just don't have the balls to come out and listen. I don't want normal, like, people walking the streets to be mad at each other, to throw these insults or whatnot. But you need to have the people who are in charge. If you have somebody like Trump, who's this massive bully, who's fighting people, and he's doing just the worst atrocities. I mean, we have concentration camps in our country now.
Yeah.
The worst atrocities that you could possibly fucking imagine.
He's been disappearing people like a junta in South America.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Well, he learned from that's where that's what he wants to be. He's doing these horrible things, and we still can't say fuck. Yeah. We still can't say what the fuck is going on. That should be how every congressional hearing starts with. Is what the fuck are we doing?
Well, like that. So a few things on this. One, Schumer finally realized that there was a problem a few weeks ago, and he sent me an email saying, if you send me $5, I can work on the problem.
Send me fucking money.
And I was like, are you fucking insane? First off, there's been a very visceral, very real, very direct problem for months now.
Yeah.
Okay? To say nothing of the problem that happened 8 years ago, to say nothing of the problems that were going on in the auspicious days of 2015 that we were just talking about with 3 fucking seats.
Yeah.
Schumer was like, there's a problem. Trump is trying to push through his most extreme measures. Oh, you fucking think? Oh, you fucking think, Chuck? Really? Is it shocking to you?
Oh, yeah, Chuck, what did you vote for the big beautiful bill, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yes, you fucking did.
Yes, you did.
You fucking idiot.
You fucking coward. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Ugh.
And my $5, what in the world have you done to earn my $5? I'm giving to people all the time trying to support causes that I truly believe in. What the fuck have you done for my $5? So the idea that the audacity that he has that he's trying to fundraise off of the crisis that's going on right now, and let's not mince words, that's what's happening. He's not trying to help. He's trying to fundraise so he can win his next election.
Yeah. And these are the people that had access for the last 4 years to the Epstein files.
Yes.
But they didn't want to release them because
it would hurt friendly fire.
What's that?
There would be friendly fire. There would be people on their side that would have been on the sexual island.
Name is probably on every page.
Yeah.
And he said, you're not releasing that because I don't want my name out there.
Yeah.
Fucking Clinton. But now, it's sad that it took 2 cartoonists to, as viscerally as possible, do what our elected leaders should have been doing for the last 5-6 years, let's say. Let's give the first 2 years of the Trump administration as bad as it was from 2016 to 2018. After that, it was
it got worse and worse every day.
So they had 6 years to do something to prove to America.
All they had to do was pass a law that a convicted felon can't run in the election.
Yeah.
All they had to do was make it so that in certain states where he would have to win, he can't be on the ballot. That's all they had to do, and they had the evidence to do it because he is a multi-convicted felon, in no small part because of an election scheme.
Yeah.
And to say nothing of the fact that Democrats haven't talked about that there are districts that Trump won with a 99 percentile.
Yeah.
That means fraud. There is no such thing as a 99 percentile. That's fraud. That's blatant fraud. And you're not going to do anything to investigate this. And you're not going to talk about anything at all. And you're not going to come up with any battle plans. And you're not going to combat him on anything. I watched Mitch McConnell lead a cadre of fuckheads for years, where all they had to do was call up someone and say, we're going to filibuster the bill. And then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Democrats, Cory Booker. I love Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I love Jefferson Smith. He's one of my favorite characters in cinema history. You're doing it wrong. I wish that there was a sense of honor. I wish that there was a sense of decency of being an actual real-life stand-up guy and being a man of honor and credence. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
And if we keep playing by that playbook, so will we.
And that's the frustrating part, is that's them thinking they're being tough.
Yeah.
I did an 18-hour filibuster. They still passed their bill, but I did an 18-hour. Who gives a fuck?
You're doing it wrong. You call them up. You say, I'm going to filibuster this.
Yes.
That's what Mitch McConnell did for years. You let him do it 4 years. You never raised a fuss over it. 4 years you let him do it. And if you're not willing to play by that playbook, you play the Republican playbook.
Yes.
If that means fucking 4 years where nothing gets passed, fucking good.
Yeah.
That's better than the alternative. Okay? You play this like the Republicans played the second Obama administration.
Yeah.
You freeze the pipes. Nothing gets through because that's the game that they're fucking playing.
Yeah. And it's it's something that I'm also frustrated with, and the thing that kills me about every conservative that freaks out about corporate media.
Yeah.
Okay. Corporate media, I hate that terminology because right now the most corporate-facing form of media is conservative media. That's what more people listen to, more people watch, and it is blatantly one-sided.
It's
to
lies.
Where they say corporate media, it's a left-wing agenda. Yeah, okay, it might lean a little bit to the left. I'm not going to disagree with you. But you are blatantly just state-run media for the Republican Party.
Yes.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are blatant. And the hypocrisy about everything that goes on, and the fact that our leadership has so few people with balls, like aforementioned in previous episodes, Transportation Secretary Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Mm-hmm. He's the only one that really has the balls to go on Fox News and NPR, or not NPR, ONN and all that, and say, you're fucking stupid, and this is the truth, and this is why, and this is that. We don't have people that have the balls to do that. Republicans don't have the balls to do that, but no one calls them out about it.
Well, what I want...
That's the problem.
What I want is Jeff Daniels from the Newsroom. Have you seen the Newsroom?
Yes.
Jeff Daniels from the Newsroom is like, he's Aaron Sorkin's last man on the Hill.
Yes.
He's the last hope for journalism integrity. Mm-hmm. And he identifies as a Republican in the show. He gets a lot of flack for it. And yet, he's one of my favorite fictional characters, unfortunately.
He was awesome.
And
that
we
scene
need
in the college is one
we
of the
need something like that,
yeah.
where he just comes in and he's just like, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done with all of this shit. Belgium has freedom.
Yeah.
What are we fucking talking about?
And that's why I'm happy I'm an independent, because I want more people to think along the lines I think of. It's not I'm on this side or that side. It's what's right and what's wrong.
We have finally boiled it down to a point
where
there is just right and just wrong.
Yeah. And for everyone that's like, oh, well, the Democratic Party, dude, a lot of our leadership, including Chuck Schumer, are still on Israel's side.
Oh, not only
that. If you're
that,
on that side, like not even counting what's happening in our country is bad enough, but it doesn't even scratch the atrocity that's going on that side.
Yes.
And for people that we think are going to stand up for the little guy are watching what's going on there right now and being like, oh, well, they deserved it. I just found out something today, which I never knew. Remember that number they gave you during the October 7th attack where they said there was like 1,200 people died? 370 were civilians. The remainder were military and police forces trying to fight.
Yeah.
So it's like, talk about disingenuous. Yeah, a lot of those. But then there was also Israeli soldiers were killing Israeli hostages just because they didn't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah. Netanyahu has been looking for an excuse for years.
Oh, yeah.
And they finally gave it to him.
This is ethnic cleansing.
It is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this.
All over again.
There's no if. This is Germany.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the soft part out loud. I'm not sorry. I'm angry.
Yeah.
You have to know better. You, Israel, you have
they know better. They're not wasting time to put them in camps. They're just exterminating.
But that's my thing. You can't. You can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the experience that we all have shape who we are. As such, you cannot be this person because you give up everything that you would be if you do this. And now they have.
Yeah.
There's no going back. There's no moment where I can be as pro-Israel as I was 10 years ago because they did the thing.
Yeah.
They finally did the thing. And we were all, for years, I remember when Wonder Woman came out, and I had friends that were very, very upset that Gal Gadot was going to be Wonder Woman because she was Israeli. She was from the Israeli police force, and it wasn't anything to do with her being Jewish. It had everything to do with what she had said about Palestinians.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was crazy. This idea of being against Wonder Woman because she is pro-Israel, that's crazy. But you're couching it wrong. That's not the right frame of it. The frame of it is that you have this one person who keeps talking about how they want to bulldoze their neighbor. And granted, the neighbor also has a bulldozer and is also looking to bulldoze them. That's the challenge of it. We can't let you do it because it's morally wrong for both of you to do it. Neither one of you is justified in doing it, and one of you certainly knows better.
Well, and the thing I saw an argument against that, and I agree with this argument. Yes, they're both pushing, but the only reason the Palestinian one makes more sense is they have been occupied.
Yes.
For decades.
They were here.
They can't, they don't have border security. They don't have their water rights. There's a lot of stuff that they don't have control of. So when you do that, you create Hamas.
Yeah.
Like we learned that with when we attacked Afghanistan.
Yes.
We created ISIS.
Yes, 100%.
They're like Israelis. I don't want to see, and anyone listening to this, I am going to fucking lose my mind if somebody calls me out for being anti-Semitic.
This has nothing to do with Judaism.
I hate all religions.
Yes, equally.
Equally. I think they're all fucking stupid. It's nothing to do with them being Jewish. It's the Israeli government are being led by war criminals.
That's the thing. This has nothing to do with the religion that they preach.
Fuck.
It would be wrong. It's wrong in the same way that China doing what they do in Tibet is wrong.
Yes.
It's wrong in the same way that Germany doing what they did to Poland was wrong. Yeah. It's wrong in the same way that what Russia is doing to Ukraine is wrong. You can look at it and very easily see that there is a right and a wrong, and it has the justification has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with whether Netanyahu is a good Jewish man.
Yeah.
This has everything to do with the fact that he is a terrible human being.
And I think that's the benefit and the difference of people like myself, who is blatantly anti-religion in every form of religion, is I can look at a situation and be like, those are humans.
Yeah.
They're not Muslims and Jews. Those are fucking humans. One has a militant, cancer inside of it that's causing issues, but the other one is being led by a cancer that has a much bigger stick than the smaller one and is doing far greater damage.
And has been trying to get the smaller one to attack.
Yes.
For decades.
Yes.
Of just how long have we heard about Palestinian families losing their homes because Israeli people just moved in?
Yep.
They just came in and they kicked them off the land, and then the military showed up and made sure they left.
Yep.
We've been hearing about this for decades, and it just finally got to a point of the domino finally fell.
Yeah.
And that's all Netanyahu and his cohort were waiting for, was an excuse to do what they've wanted to do the whole time.
Dude.
This has, the thing that makes me the most crazy about this is I do come from a religion background. And I come from a Episcopalian Catholic background. I don't identify as religious, but I do. When people ask if I'm atheist, I say no, I'm agnostic, because I don't know. But I really, really hope. I really, really hope that some of the teachings that we have from way back when are still true and hold water and are the way to live life. And to that end, I look at Jesus' second teaching. Treat your neighbor how you want to be treated. That's it. And I always joke that Jesus now needs to come back and say, did I stutter? Was there any kind of hedging on this?
Well, and that gets us back to South Park with the Jesus aspect of it. Jesus at the end is standing in front of the town, and the town is asking him for help to deal with the Trump situation because Trump is suing the town for $5 billion.
Yeah.
And Jesus, under his breath, is like, just do it. Eat the bread. Just do it. I am only in your school as part of a lawsuit that I lost. Just do it. Trump is the president. He will do what he wants. And that's Jesus speaking. And it's that is
yeah.
It kills me when I hear people who are Republican, and especially MAGA Republicans, that say they're Christian and they believe in Jesus.
They're not.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Jesus was a dark-skinned Middle Eastern Jew from 2,000 years ago who would have made Bernie Sanders look like Newt Gingrich.
Yeah.
And you would not, you wouldn't let him in the country because he was dark-skinned, doesn't speak English. And number two, you would have been so against. He would have been against guns. He would have been, he would have been against deporting people. He goes, why do you even have borders? Who fucking created borders?
Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares about this government and these taxes and all this other stuff? Why are we doing all this stuff? And just like this idea that at the end of the day, Jesus' whole thing was fuck money.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Not in that order, but I like to use it in that order right now because if anybody doesn't know about Jesus flipping the tables, look up Jesus flipping tables.
Yeah.
A, because you might get some fucking rad AI art. I don't endorse AI art, but the art that someone had an AI make by asking it to make a Renaissance style painting of Jesus flipping tables in the temple, or flipping over tables, I should say, in the temple. Very famous Bible story. The AI interpreted this as Jesus doing backflips over tables.
Gotcha.
It's excellent.
That sounds amazing.
But also, like, Jesus was not about money. Jesus was not about, might makes right and all these other things. Jesus was about be nice, be chill. Why don't we all love each other? Why is it so bad to love each other?
Yeah.
We've gotten to a point where me and my buddies are texting about how Superman is now punk rock. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Superman or Scott Summers or fucking any of these dweebs being considered punk rock? But now they are, because they stand up for what they believe in, because they don't turn their back on somebody simply because of an inconvenience or the color of their skin or a perceived slight. It's mind-boggling to me that so many people who claim to be religious, and I stress claim because they are clearly not. They can practice as much as they want. They don't listen to any of it.
I'll let you finish your thought now.
But it's incredible to me that so many people who claim to be religious have latched onto this as an opportunity to be justified in their hate.
Yeah.
Which is what I truly feel it is. The justification here is not about Trump is a good businessman and he's going to be a good businessman for the country. The justification is I like seeing somebody who's worse than me say the things that I want to say.
Yes.
And so if he can say it, I feel at least justified in feeling the ways that I feel, even if I don't also say it. I agree with what he's saying, and I relish the way that he talks about it.
Yeah.
And the idea that so many people who need the 10 Commandments in schools, who need to have a manger on every fucking town hall, are the same people that are fully just not understanding that the central tenet of religion is technically love God, but only slightly less well known. Be good to each other. That's just it. Be kind to each other. It's as easy as Abe Lincoln at the end of Bill and Ted. Be excellent to each other.
And
party on.
Well, and that the whole, and this, I think this will be the last on this, and then we'll have to move on to something a little more entertaining,
palatable,
for the masses. Once again, I'm militantly anti-religion because I believe the number one thing that divides us as a species and will lead to our downfall is the separation of
ideology.
Hugely.
Yeah.
But for somebody that doesn't believe in religion, doesn't believe that there's a God because I have not seen any evidence of it, like Socrates, I'm on the fence. Like, even if Jesus existed, I know there's some small little snippets that showed that a person by that name could have existed. I follow his teachings more than the people that spout to be Christian.
Exactly.
Because I'm a good person.
Yes.
And I look out for others. And I want to help others. And I try to do nice things.
You be genuinely kind to others.
And I'm anti-violence.
Yes.
I don't believe in guns.
Yes.
And
you just treat people with kindness and respect.
Yeah.
And I don't think
that's how you do.
I don't think that's a huge radical thing to do.
No.
I think that if we had started doing it a long time ago, we would have been able to skip over a fuck ton of problems.
Yes.
All we need to do is just be kind and respectful. That's it. That's the entire game.
Yeah.
And even when you don't like the person, you have to be respectful. I will say, with one line, as soon as you cross this line, which Orange Bastard has, it's over.
Yeah.
You've shown me who you are, and in that same way, I'm going to treat you the way you clearly want to be treated.
Yes.
Because if we're taking it at the letter of the law, treat others the way you want to be treated, this is what he wants. So I'm going to just give it to him. He's
Yeah.
a fucking lunatic. He is a monster.
He's dumb as a box of rocks.
He is so stupid. And I think it's incredibly important to remember that whereas all the rest of us, have either our phones or some of the elders among us might have comics or Reader's Digest even on the toilet, Trump still keeps secret files for the country on the toilet.
Yeah.
So, I just want you to think about, if not the one thing, can we at least agree the shame of the other is enough that we should be moving on?
Yes.
And
I agree.
We shouldn't even have to get to the second point, because really the first point
Yeah.
is pretty important.
I agree. And hopefully this is the last time we speak politics for quite a long time on the show, but we both agreed this needed to be said.
Yeah.
With what's been going on, for us to, all of a sudden not talk about Strange New Worlds, like we were hyping up us promoting it, us not to talk about it, not to watch it, and with what's been going on in, unfortunately, it is pop culture now, the lives and deaths of these people and all the tragedies is pop culture. So we felt we had to discuss it.
It had to be brought up. It would be, usually I want this to be an oasis.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk about this shit, because it makes me mad. I don't, look, there's an argument to be made from people who don't know me, who just know me through this show, that I get mad at everything.
Yes.
Right? So there's a very real argument to be made. I want to get mad about things that truly do not matter.
Yes, exactly.
That's the stuff I want to be mad about.
Yes.
Because I don't want the stuff that does matter to be so bad that I have to stop my shenanigans and come over there and say, the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You should be able to rant about Donkey Kong's eyes.
Yes! I want to talk about what they've done to my boy. Yes. I want to talk about Tron Ares. I want to talk about fucking the new Mortal Kombat trailer. I want to talk about Johnny Cage, our boy Carl Urban. I wanted to talk about all this shit, and we had to push it.
Yes.
We had to push it because of this.
Now, in our moving on,
yes,
I think since we had just negative and sad, I think we should continue with sad because I want to end happy.
Yes.
So this past week has been one of the roughest weeks for my childhood, I think, ever.
Yeah,
because
that really
it started with the tragic loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner, a.k.a.
That was crazy.
Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show, who died in a drowning accident.
He's 56.
He got caught in the undercurrents in the ocean.
That's crazy.
Super sad.
Yeah.
And so that bummed my friends and I texting back and forth, going nuts. And then a couple days later, Ozzy Osbourne dies.
Yeah.
Which, you don't think about how much you really appreciate someone's work until they're gone. A lot, like you see with a lot of artists and whatnot. With his music, I went back and re-listened to a lot of his back catalog, and I'm like, man, I really did love his music.
Yeah.
And it was a bummer. Everyone thought of him with the Osbournes because that was the most recent thing.
Yeah.
But goddamn, he was fucking good.
He became synonymous with the drugged out rock star.
Yeah.
And just I'll always think of the shot of him trying to pour orange juice. And looking back at it, that's not really fair for a number of reasons. But also, it glosses over some of the really important things. I don't think people talk about the fact that, his band made War Pigs, one of the greatest anti-war songs I've ever heard. And, it's moments after the passing where people really cement who they remember somebody as. And to that end, I think that Ozzy Osbourne will be more remembered for biting the head off of bats than for how many pills he took every day.
Well, and the funny thing, I shouldn't say funny, but the thing about the whole Ozzy's thing, I'm not saying this, I will never lie to people on the show. There's no reason for me to lie to you. I'm going to tell you how it is. The day before Ozzy died, I just happened to watch, it came up on my YouTube feed, the introduction of just him, not Black Sabbath, just him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He had Jack Black introduce him. Mm-hmm. So I watched that in its entirety. I'm like, oh, that was awesome. And then the next day came out that he died, and I was like, "Dude, that's weird."
Yeah,
that was weird. But it was a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah,
he had a lot that he did for music and for hard rock, and on top of that, he had some of the greatest ballads ever. Like "Mom, I'm Coming Home" is great, and then one of my favorites was actually a Black Sabbath one. I think it might be the first ballad from 1972, which is "Changes." Mm-hmm. Beautiful song, and it's amazing. And that voice, there's never going to be another voice like that.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable. He's kind of like Rod Stewart, where it's like, you hear that voice, you know who that is. Yeah. That's not somebody making it up. That's who that is.
Yeah.
So I never would have thought this guy would be not the top of my list to want to talk about, but number 3 and 3 and 4 happened in the same day.
Yeah.
3 was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So as a 70s kid and growing up in the 80s, WWF was my entire fucking life. Hulk Hogan was my hero.
Yeah.
I loved him. I saw him at the War Memorial wrestling the Iron Sheik and oh god, what was the Russian guy's name? Boris. Was it Boris? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up.
We're talking about the era of the Iron Sheik. It was probably Boris Maxilov.
Just seeing, I'll never forget. There was a chick with a half shirt and no bra, and I was young, so I had no idea what was. And she's standing next to us, and my mom is right there, and just shaking, and I seeing these bottom of her boobies flapping, and my mom's like looking down. But it was when, like, she had been sitting there all quiet, this woman, and then the Iron Sheik comes out with the flag. And she ripped off like her sweatshirt and was flicking him off. Fuck yeah! Because it was Hulk Hogan America versus Iron Sheik Iranian. And it's like, that was it, man. Back in the day, that was fucking it.
Yeah.
And seeing Hulk Hogan come out there with the American flag and playing the music, dude, there was nothing like it. Now, mind you, over the years, I have a friend that works for the company, and he has nothing but horrible things to say about Hulk Hogan as a person, and we've seen it, in recent times with stuff that's gone on with him and him being at the, Republican National Convention and
him condoning
just
war
saying
criminals
racist things.
Yeah.
Like, he said horrible things about his daughter and dating an African American man, and it was not good, and it was super racist. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of bittersweet. It is a major part of my childhood, but it is also a terrible person.
Yeah, see, I think that's kind of the complication.
It's so tough.
This keeps happening. I was talking to family friends today about J.K. Rowling, and how you try and figure out where it went wrong. You watch somebody and you look up to them and you really enjoy the things that they're making, and you hope that they're not a bad person. Mm-hmm. And then, stuff starts to slowly drip out, and you're like, uh-oh. Please don't. Kevin Spacey was a big one for me.
Oh, God.
I loved Kevin Spacey.
Especially because House of Cards was banging at that moment.
I loved House of Cards. I loved Baby Driver. Yep. It was one of the few times where I remember, back in the halcyon days of Facebook, when they would have, change your profile picture to whatever celebrity you look like, so you can try and fool people who are just like scrolling through. And the one that I got suggested was Kevin Spacey, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. That's great. And not anymore. Yeah. Don't want that association.
And it's funny though, because you have situations like the whole Michael Jackson.
That's another one
where it's like, the tough thing for me. Okay, the tough thing is, he might have been this horrible monster everyone said he was. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, I love his music, and it's like there's so many people who have done artistic things who are just horrible people. Yeah. Like, I still watch all the Weinstein movies. I love knowing what that piece of shit was doing.
That's the thing. I'm not gonna stop watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or Good Will Hunting. Yeah. Or there was another one that I was watching. I was like, oh fuck, this is a Miramax piece. Okay. But like that's how the movie starts now. Yeah. As the movie starts, and Miramax comes up, and you say, "Ah, fuck." Okay.
Or the Weinstein Company. Yeah. Either or. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. Ah, fuck. Okay. And then you try and not think about it while you're watching the movie. But like, I think that's what's interesting about Hogan, is we often have this conversation on the show about the idea of dividing the art from the artist. Yeah. How do you divide the art from the artist when the artist is the art? And the art is a personality cultivated over 30 years. So it's hard to say. I remember the thing that I found the most interesting was that everybody, when they were talking about it, was talking about it in terms of Hulk Hogan's real name, Terry
Bollea,
something
like that.
And so it'd always be Hulk Hogan or Terry, better known as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how people remember you, especially in the moments just after you pass. And I think the biggest things that I find interesting are, A, the sense that some people feel like they need to legitimize him as an entertainer, which is interesting, by like treating him like you would a award-winning actor or something. It's an interesting attempt. I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. It's just interesting. And B, by the fact that I've seen multiple people being like, and this is why old people shouldn't vote in elections, because you vote in an election and then you die before you have to sit through what happens.
Yep. And
I also will not weigh in on this point, except to say that I bring it up for a reason, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm a little bitter about a few things. Let me put it that way. But yeah, because I was never a wrestling guy. So it was really more just about seeing how everybody else would react. And also, I agree with you. It's the complication of who Hulk Hogan has become over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It's who he was 35 years ago, but it's also who he was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And who he was 7 years ago, and who he was 5 years ago. And, I can't help but wonder, and I also find it interesting that no one has brought up, like with Roddy Piper and Randy Savage, that the wrestling may have contributed to their death.
Oh, it absolutely did.
And so nobody has really brought that up with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But he made it to 71, which is way longer than a lot of these other guys did.
Well, he died because he was having his 15th back fusion surgery, and his heart gave out in recovering from the surgery. Because he's had I saw an interview with Howard Stern. He had shrunk 4 inches because of all the fusing they had to do to his spine because his body was shot. Yeah. Well, that puts the whole other thing on fucking douchebag Vince McMahon and how he ruined lives.
Also not a good person.
True. Far worse than a lot of things we've talked about. But then the worst one to me, I have it queued. Chuck Mangione, Rochester native, Chuck Mangione, flugelhorn player, Chuck Mangione, and this is Feels So Good. This song right here, from when I grew up, so I was born in 76, so I was really cognizant of the world around me in 79-ish.
Yeah.
I have memories from then. There's no other thing in this world that makes me think of my childhood truly than that song.
Yeah.
Because I want to say the album came out in 77, 78, something like that. And that song, since he was from Rochester, was everywhere.
Yeah.
They played it in commercials, they had it at sporting events, they had it on the radio every 2 seconds. And for years, I kind of had animosity towards it because, I was a dumb kid and I wanted rock and roll, and it's that's flugelhorn and it's kind of dumb. But then when I got older and could appreciate it, I remember the first time I heard it again because I had gotten this. Now, mind you, it is the whitest of white guy albums called Yacht Rock, but it's all 70s pop rock type stuff, Chicago and Logan and Messina, stuff like that. And when I heard that song, I stopped in my tracks because I had not heard that song easily 40 years since I had heard that song.
Yeah.
And I quite literally went back to being a 4-year-old again.
Yeah.
And it was the most magical moment. And I'll never be able to thank him for that, even though he was still here in Rochester. He died here in Rochester.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he was here in Rochester. Which for those of you who don't know, not only was he this amazing musician, he also played. He ran one of the schools of the Eastman School of Music. I can't remember what he ran, but he was in charge of one of the for years and years and years. And he was a staple in music in our fucking city.
Yeah.
That's where we came from. And when I found out he died, now mind you, he was in his 80s, so it's like, I bet a lot of people were more like, I can't believe he was still alive.
Yeah.
But that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. And, once again, that was the dirty, rotten cherry on top of my Sunday of my childhood dying this week.
Yeah.
It's like, it really is starting to hit me more and more now the older I'm getting that, fuck, all these people that I loved and, like, man, such an important part of my life growing up are all dying.
Yeah, that is the wild thing.
It's fucked up.
When you stop and look around and these things that you thought were going to be around fucking forever.
Yeah.
And, you never really thought about, like, this was definitely how I felt when Robin Williams passed. It was just like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's not right.
I'm glad you brought him up because just a few days ago I rewatched The Birdcage, which was, I think, one of the most underrated comedies in history. It's hysterical. But you're watching and you're like, Robin Williams and Gene Hackman are dead.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they dead? Like, you're watching it going, oh, they look so, everything is, it doesn't look like it was that long ago. I mean, the movie was fucking 30 years ago, but it's like,
that's the one that, like, when I stop and think about really the deaths that are going to stop me in my tracks, is it's like, what's it going to be like to watch, Lord of the Rings after Ian McKellen passes?
Yeah.
What's it going to be like watching Lord of the Rings after, Sean Bean dies in real life? And
what about the indie movies? Harrison Ford is knocking on the door. I mean, he's old as shit.
And so you're just like, you're not thinking about these mainstays. You're thinking about some schmuck nobody that you don't really care about. And then all of a sudden, Robin Williams is dead. And you're just left being like, I don't know what to do with this information.
Dude, it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense in my brain. It reminds me of The Princess Bride when Fred Savage is getting annoyed that Wesley is dead. You're telling the story wrong, Grandpa. Stop telling the story wrong. Because, sometimes you're like, that's not supposed to happen. Tom Lehrer. I don't know if you know Tom Lehrer. Tom Lehrer just passed today. And it's just like when Weird Al is sad about things that are going on outside of politics. It's like, man,
it's weird.
It's a tough week.
It really is. Like, it was rough. It was rough. So that's our negative part of the show.
Yeah.
Rest in peace for everyone that had passed. And we are moving on before we get to trailers, because there's a lot of trailers.
There's a lot of trailers to talk about.
I did want to do a quick shout out. I did play Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes.
Mind you, I have played maybe 2 hours of it. It is a spectacular game. Head to toe spectacular. The one complaint that I can kind of see from people, but I don't see a solution to it, is if you are like in a wall or under the ground, sometimes the camera can get wonky. But I mean, it's so chaotic. I don't know how you could have not had that
problem.
The thing I would have to say that I really appreciate, and this is going to sound bad, do you know those rooms you can pay money and they give you a baseball bat and you just
rage rooms?
This game is a rage room in a video game. Because I spent the first hour on the same board just breaking shit.
Yeah.
I didn't advance. I didn't move on. Nobody told me to. And I just broke every fucking thing I could. And it felt so good.
I seem to remember hearing about this, that just about everything in the game is breakable.
Very much so. Yeah, you'll be breaking through a wall and there'll be like a metal wall behind it where you can't go any further. But I would say 75% of everything around you can just destroy.
Yeah.
And you can destroy in fun ways. Like, you can rip pieces of the ground up and then surf on it. Or you could rip pieces up and throw it, or just use it to smash.
Yeah.
And just running around beating the shit out of the walls was so therapeutic.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I like, honestly, I don't even know if I'll ever finish this game, because I'm just going to spend my time just beating up shit. Like, I haven't even got to the fun part. My son had already gotten to the part where you can change into, like, Super Donkey Kong or whatever they call him. And he hasn't gotten to the ostrich or the zebra part yet. But, like, the other parts of this game I'm hearing are just spectacular, and I can't wait to get to them. But goddamn, I like breaking things.
Yeah.
And it feels so good.
Yeah.
And the controls are spot on. There's no lag. It's running at 60 frames per second, so if there is a slight slowdown, it goes to like 55.
Yeah.
Which for coming off of the Switch, it's like fucking still a miracle that it's running.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. I know you have issues with Donkey Kong's look. I don't. I love it. I think it's great.
I just like the problem is that they perfected it and then they tinkered, and
Yeah.
that's just a problem that any creative team has, because no one is satisfied once they get it right, and so you always have to take it back and tinker.
But
with
I
it.
can see why they tinkered it, because I can see why they made the change in the Mario movie, because this Donkey Kong with the eyes and everything, I think looks better on film.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why they're doing it still, especially with them saying there's going to be a Donkey Kong movie in the
Yeah,
next couple of years.
they're also looking at marketing the character.
Exactly.
They want to have, in the way that they had perfected it in 64, they want a unified front.
Exactly.
Of like, this is what Donkey Kong looks like now, and he's going to look this way in the movies, in the games, in the other games, in the third games, in the TV show, in the movie, the spin-off series, everything.
You got it. And
The
I
comic
think
books.
I can see that's why they did it. And
Yeah.
it's so good. I
Yeah.
can't even stress how fucking great it is. And I'm psyched. This week is supposed to be a Nintendo Direct, so I'm very excited to hear like plans for future games and what's coming out, because
Yeah.
it's a new system. And I gotta say, for people that have the complaint on the Switch 2 about, oh well, there's not enough games, look at Xbox and PlayStation. How many fucking first party games have come out in the last, was it 5 years now the systems have been out, where they had a new Mario Kart and a new big time Donkey Kong game in the first month.
Yeah.
So quit fucking whining. There's a bunch of shit to play. Play your old fucking games for now. There's gonna be more shit coming out.
Go back
goddammit.
to the GameCube.
Yes.
Has the GameCube thing dropped yet?
Yes, the GameCube thing's dropped.
That's one of the things I wanted. When they said that they were going to have GameCube Soul Calibur, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah,
That's
with
it.
Link,
That's all I need.
I've played it already.
Yeah, I don't need anything else.
But
That's
it's like,
it.
and also go back and play the Zelda games again. They're great on the Switch too. They run so well, like fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And like, what's the one that I just started up that also got the newest top-down Zelda, the one where you play as Zelda.
Yes.
Well, I can't think of the stupid name of that.
Kelly, what was the name of that Zelda game?
Where you play as Zelda.
Oh, Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Yes.
Always there to help us.
Yeah, I know.
You know? The Oracle. Echoes of Wisdom runs so fucking smooth. Same with the Link. I want to say Link Between Worlds. It wasn't that. Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
Those two chugged on the old Switch. They run smooth as silk, and they look gorgeous, and they're amazing. And it's like, people have got to stop with this. It's not good enough. You know what? It's fucking good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You weren't alive back in the day when there wasn't a new video game coming out every week. And you would get 1 or 2 games a year.
Yeah.
And you would have to play those over and over again.
They were, which you would, because they were so fucking hard that you wouldn't play them
Yes.
over and over again. You'd play the same first level.
I still never
over
beat
and over
Turtles
again.
on NES.
Yes. How
No
can
one
you?
did.
It's impossible.
That swimming
no,
level is
seriously,
impossible.
Steve. I went back and I played it on the Switch with save and load. It's impossible.
Yes.
You cannot do it.
Yep.
I had the full complement of being able to rewind time as much as I wanted to at any given moment.
Yeah.
It's not doable. I did it, but it literally took me about an hour and change with save and load.
Yeah.
It can't be done. So, no, yeah, we still haven't gotten our Switch 2. We've gone back and forth on it. I think the thing that we're probably going to wait for is that there's now a Pokemon branded Switch 2.
Yes,
that will
coming
be
out in
coming
October, which that's when the new game comes out,
Yeah.
which was also kind of there was a Pokemon Direct. I don't think people were expecting it to come out this soon.
Yeah, a
So
lot of
that's
people were
what makes
expecting
me-
it in Christmas. So.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why I'm very interested to see what the November game is going to be.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I will say regarding the Pokemon game, this house has a lot of Pokemon fans in it now.
Yes.
And there's a general sense of like, this isn't gonna suck, right? But this isn't gonna be bad though, right? And I can't help but wonder.
The only thing I could think of is I know Nintendo tries to stand back and allow them, the Pokemon Company, to do their thing. After what was it?
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet, the issues that were with those games and the hammering they took.
Yeah.
Since this is the launch window still of this new system, I guarantee you Nintendo's like, we're going to fucking make sure this thing runs as smooth as hell.
See, it's not the running as smooth as hell that I'm worried about. It's the general policy of the game. Because I look at something like Arceus and I look at something like Scarlet and Violet. And you wouldn't think Arceus came out before Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
But it did. And then Scarlet and Violet was a significant step backwards from a really well philosophized game
Yeah.
for Pokemon. And it's kind of like Marvel. Everybody this week has been asking me, do you think Fantastic Four is going to be good? Dude, I hope so, but here's the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like, I got a bunch of things that concern me, not the least of which being Marvel's past history.
Yeah.
So, like, do I want to believe that it's going to be good? Yeah. Do I think it is going to be good? Do I think Z to A is going to be good? I want it to be.
The positive thing to look for with Z to A is it is a Legends game, like Arceus.
Yes.
So hopefully,
yes,
that's like a different group making that game compared to the other one that's making
or
the more
just like a different
mainline one.
Policy. Sometimes companies get in their own butts about things, and they're like, "Oh, well, we can only have fun and break the mold on non-core games. Anything that's a core game has to have the exact same mechanic every time. So we can only go out and be exploratory and have fun when it's not a core game." So in that regard, maybe
I think Nintendo, they know that this is their opportunity, quite literally on a gaming aspect, to put the death nail not only in Xbox, but in some way PlayStation. Because Nintendo, you got to give them this. They never fell victim to our system is going to be for streaming video and for playing DVDs and doing this. They were like, we're going to make a video game machine for fucking video games.
Yeah.
And the Switch proved that they could do it really well. I know there were a lot of glitches, but man, that gaming library is fucking fire on that system.
It is.
And so far, if they can nail a new Mario Kart, a mainline Donkey Kong, a mainline Metroid, a mainline Pokemon, and then whoever knows whatever the November game is in the same fucking year, that is insane. And not only, it's half a year. It came out in June 1st.
Yeah.
So this is half a year to have those bangers on top of whatever third-party games come out. Fuck. Madden's going to be coming out for it in a month. It's like...
I will say, don't get your hopes up for Madden on Switch.
I'm hoping they do... They get rid of the stupid create a character and go through that. Like, if you're going to cut shit to make it fit, cut that bullshit.
Yeah.
Put a fucking football game on there for me so I can play football. I don't want to fucking be this no-name guy trying to make his way through college and have to talk to his agent and all that. I don't want that shit.
I'm just waiting.
Cut that out.
I'm just waiting for the gimmick. Because this is the death knell of Nintendo-based Madden games to me, is that ever since the Wii, there's been a gimmick involved.
But see, that's the thing. I don't think there's going to be a gimmick with this because this is, and you could tell by them using the moniker Switch 2 and going to that moniker instead of creating a different name. This is the newer ownership and the newer leadership in Nintendo to the point where somebody, and you would have smiled about this, I was watching a review on Donkey Kong, and they said, and look at this move you can do. It's similar to the throwing the hat in Mario Odyssey, but you don't need the Joy-Con for it. You can just use the stick, and it's like...
Thank God.
But that's the thing. I understand the wheelchair game with the basketball is very gimmicky, but you could tell they've gotten so much blowback from that they have not mentioned it at all. I'm very curious from the direct if they mention it, because I think a lot of people are saying like the games that use it, like first-person shooters or Civilization game.
Yeah.
It's awesome for that, using the mouse controller, as long as you don't need to use it.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. It can be a gimmick, but I'm hoping they learn to not force you to use it.
I hope so, because I think that would be growth for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And growth is as important for corporations as it is for any of us.
Yeah.
You can't stay the same person forever. You got to grow, baby, grow.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope that the next direct isn't like, and coming this Christmas, Splatoon 4. It's like, oh, that's a... Well, we were having a really good time, and then you got ink all over it.
Yeah.
So.
Even though, that game probably sells more than anything in Japan.
This is the thing. I don't know shit. Because I make fun of, like, fucking Splatoon and Pikmin and Fire Emblem, and people fucking love those games.
Well, I love Pikmin and Fire Emblem. I'm not a Splatoon guy, even though, like, in Japan, supposedly that is bigger than anything.
Yeah.
That is the game that they all play in Japan, so it's like, who knows?
All
right, so we got a lot of trailers to get to.
Yeah, let's talk about trailers.
So, I do have to ask, have you seen the trailer to the sequel to Spinal Tap?
I have not. I have not.
You're gonna have to watch that. For those of you who are listening, we won't talk about that one right now. You need to go watch it because it looks like that is gonna be fucking spectacular, and I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I'm surprised because the thing that I saw was like, man, those guys have gotten old.
Yeah, it was. 50,
they're fucking old.
I think it was 54 or 40. Is over 40 years.
Yeah,
closer to 50 because I think it was.
It was early 80s,
very
mid 80s,
late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so look forward to that. That looks awesome.
Yeah. I realized that we never actually talked about The Running Man on the show.
Dude!
We talked about Running Man off mic.
We gotta talk about The Running Man.
So we should talk about Running Man.
Yes.
The Running Man, I'm hoping has a similar categorization as Dredd versus Judge Dredd. The Sylvester Stallone Dredd.
Yes.
Wherein the Schwarzenegger Running Man is almost laughably stupid at times. Like, you're watching it, at least for me, I remember watching it and being like, this is dumb. Like, I've seen this done in Death Race and other things, and it's way better. And this is just kind of dumb.
It's definitely a movie of its time.
Yes. But, like, having everybody, like, the American Gladiators WrestleMania aspect of it.
Yes.
I was like, this is
But you got to
stupid.
remember, when that movie came out, American Gladiators was fire. That was the #1 late night show on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So.
But this new updated Running
Dude.
Man looks really good.
Dude.
And it's directed by
Edgar
Wright, the king of the trope.
Yes.
Who better to direct a trope-heavy pastiche on action films than Edgar Wright?
This trailer looks so good.
This looks really fucking
This
good.
movie looks so fucking good.
It's got my mom's favorite actor, Glenn Powell, in it.
Which, the funny thing about Glenn Powell is, for those of you who have listened to the show, I have actors in my life, your Channing Tatums, your Brad Pitts, who were the pretty boy actors, and then they do that movie.
Yeah.
That changes. And you're like, oh, okay, they're a great actor.
Yeah.
For me, Channing Tatum was 21 Jump Street. Brad Pitt, I think it was 7.
Yeah,
and
7
then,
is like, he doesn't look like the pretty boy during 7.
Like Pattinson when he did The Lighthouse, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see these now. This could be my Glenn Powell moment.
Yeah.
Because he has been like he's the cute guy and he's in the fun
attractive
movies. But
and
he's like, dude, he's fucking looks awesome in this movie.
That scene at the end of the trailer where he gets up out of the puddle and he's like, I'm not dead, motherfuckers!
Shit eaters, and he flicks out the camera. Like, fucking looks awesome.
This could be great. And
Dude.
Coleman Domingo.
I love Coleman Domingo.
So fucking good.
God, I love Coleman Domingo.
Oh my god, he looks so good. I can't get over how incredible he looks in this movie. I want to see this movie for him. And then I also want to see it because it's Edgar Wright. And then I also want to see it because Glenn Powell looks like a genuine ball. The moment where he grabs the taser by the business end.
Yeah.
And he's just holding it. It's just like, damn, son.
Dude.
That's fucking
It's so
dope.
fucking good.
That's fucking
And I mean,
dope.
This movie, Michael Cera, Lee Pace, Josh Brolin, William H. Macy, Sean Hayes, David Zayas, who, for those of you who don't remember him, he was the cop sidekick in Dexter.
Yes.
And so it's like, dude, this is a great cast.
Yeah.
And oh my god, the action looks so good, and it looks gritty and real and awesome.
It just looks great, and
it
then
looks
you
fun.
see, and then you see Edgar Wright's name, and you're like, oh, so it is gonna be good.
It's gonna be so fucking good.
It's not just that it looks fun; it is going to be fun.
And I know we had our talk about the Cornetto trilogy not long ago, and remember thinking to myself, man, he hasn't really done anything in a while. And then this pops up. You're like,
so that's what you've been up
Yes.
to. Okay, all right.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
I am beyond excited.
Other things I'm excited for, Mortal Kombat 2.
Dude.
My only question is, so why did we have that first movie? Which isn't to say we shouldn't have had the first movie, but just to say, why didn't we start here?
True. Once again, I know. When was the last time we saw the first movie?
I would say about a year and a half ago.
Okay, I would go back and rewatch it. It's aged better for me.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it as a start-off point now because you're not introducing all the other side characters.
Yeah.
You're just, this is all about Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
And everyone else shows up, but it's fucking Carl Urban's show, dude.
So there's like 6 things I love about this. Anybody who has seen the Mortal Kombat animated movies where Johnny Cage is voiced by Joel McHale.
Yeah.
First off, It's fucking great. But it is this. Right down to the fact that his first fight is with Baraka.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great. Fucking do it.
Dude.
That's what I love. Rip the thing that I love off. That's awesome. And then it's Carl Urban. And he has the right haircut, so we know it's science fiction.
Yes.
Dude, this might be incredible. I'm really excited for this.
Can I tell you, when I showed my son this trailer,
Yeah.
he has been excited about movies before. He lost his mind. He's like, that looks amazing! And just like went crazy. I'm like, yeah, it looks great. And
No.
I still don't know how I'm going to be able to
The moment
get him in,
when
but-
Kano is like, you don't have any bloody powers, and he's like, I'm a movie star!
Yes.
This might be fucking great.
It looks fucking incredible. And they brought, they got a lot of the heavy hitters back.
Yes.
And once again, we knew that the bad guys at least,
We're probably going to be revived.
and they're obviously revived because Kano's back, and you're like, okay.
They're setting up a
Dude.
face down where Johnny Cage is going to have to fight. Is it Shao Kahn is the big boy?
I think so.
At the end? Or is it...
The actual Emperor.
Yes.
Yeah, the actual Emperor.
And I can never remember who is the lieutenant and who's the emperor. And,
Shao Kahn's the Emperor.
And
yeah.
what's his nuts? Soul Eater Man is the lieutenant.
God, why is my brain...
Yeah. I also am blanking. I've seen all
Yeah.
the movies. Like, I cannot remember.
Shang-Chi?
It sounds like that,
Yeah.
but it's not. That's Marvel.
Yeah, that is Marvel.
But anyway, I'm so fucking pumped for this. I love the feel of all of it. I immediately have questions about why Johnny Cage is being roped into this, but I'm so excited to see what the answers are. I love the scene where
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
I was close.
You were very close. The scene where he's like, I don't have Transformer arms. It's just like, this might be really fun.
Dude, I think it's going to be fun.
I think this is going to be really fun. This isn't necessarily going to be like deep lore heavy.
Yeah.
But also it kind of shouldn't be.
I'm telling you, the part that nailed me is, man, they got Raiden's costume perfect.
Yes.
When he
Yes.
shows up and he's got the picture perfect outfit, I was like, oh,
And then on
looks
top of
amazing.
it, they're still teasing this Scorpion. I almost said Ice Feast.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. Where it's like, oh, and there's also going to be a whole Sub-Zero Scorpion fight
Which is
thing
awesome.
going on.
It's so awesome.
Is this going to be Sub-Zero? Is it going to be Sub-Zero's brother, who's the good Sub-Zero? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But dude,
it's going to be
you're not
interesting.
joking. This movie looks so
I'm
good.
so pumped.
I cannot wait for this.
Another movie that I'm deeply curious of, and I don't want to say I'm concerned about, because I don't think I am, but I really wonder how it's going to shake out, is Tron Ares. We got a new updated trailer for
Yes.
Tron Ares. Have you seen this?
I did.
I think that this is really interesting. Evan Peters is in it, which is a big plus for
Awesome.
me. That's great.
I like the scene they showed, that because I know he's only in it for a little bit of time, the Jeff Bridges scene.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
So Jeff Bridges is here, which means we have credibility,
Yes.
which is important. It's really interesting. I mean, they're doing the RoboCop thing of like, we don't need to build a robot. We already have this artificial intelligence that's been breeding for,
Yes.
the last 30 years. We're just going to bring it
And
here.
I do appreciate that, though, where they're breaking that, oh, nobody knows this other world exists. They know this world exists.
Yeah.
And they're bringing fighters from this world to the real world.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
And there's a respawn element to it.
Yes.
Which is really interesting.
Very
So there's a
interesting.
lot of things that I'm fascinated by. The things that concern me are very strictly Jared Leto shaped, in that I don't know if he's the hero or the villain, and he seems to have a love interest, which I'm a little concerned about. I don't know if I want to get into any of that.
I'm curious.
So I want to know if Jared Leto is the protagonist or the antagonist,
Yeah.
and if he's the antagonist, there has to be another antagonist besides Evan Peters.
I'll be honest, I'm happy that I don't know these answers yet. 'Cause I
Yes.
do want to go into this movie not knowing.
No, I agree.
And the one thing I'll give it is visually the aesthetic of it, and showing
Oh my God.
the light cycles and the ships in real world is fucking amazing.
That last shot where the airship fires off a barrage.
Yes.
And it just goes through the streets of the city, and you're like, oh, that's a problem.
Dude.
That's a real problem.
Dude.
I'm very, I'm usually against the whole, we have another world thing, but we don't have a way of telling an interesting story that people can connect to, so we're going to take the other world and bring it to
Yeah.
our world. Usually I hate that trope. But I kind of am super into this.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by it. I really want to see where it goes. I want to know if it's just a rogue AI thing where Jared Leto's like, I'm a real boy. And now all of the other soldiers that he used to fight with are all chasing him. Yeah, but I want to know where this is going. And as long as the story is good and the effects hold up, which they really look great.
Dude.
They look fucking great.
This is the part that frustrates me, though, about, once again, Disney.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney. You have properties. They're all in the toilet, right? Quite literally, every property, your live-action remakes, your animated movies are doing okay, but not great. Your Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel, all of them are in the toilet right now.
Yeah.
Quite literally
even
in the toilet.
Even Pixar can't get a
no
win.
one gives a shit about the new movie coming out. It's like,
to
dude,
the
it
point
could be
where,
awesome.
To the point where Disney is getting actively hostile with fans.
Yeah.
Like Disney saying to fans, we thought you wanted original storytelling, make up your mind.
Yeah.
On fucking Twitter.
You still got to make a good story, though,
It's
goddammit,
crazy.
Disney. But now, you have this original property that has been your property since the very first movie in the 70s.
Yeah.
Or 80s. This is your baby. Why are you not promoting it more? Why are you not releasing the first two movies in the theater for a special week? Redoing, once again, I know I harked on this, redo the de-aging in the second one.
God.
It'll take you a week
At
to go
at
in there
most.
and redo the de-aging.
Just make it better.
Because that movie is so fucking good, and
It's
I watched it
great.
again recently.
Oh my god,
it is
Tron
great.
Legacy is a quiet, amazing movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I fucking love that
So
movie.
good, dude.
It's like, oh, if you need a reason to watch the movie, watch it because the soundtrack is fucking dope because
Yeah.
it's Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Okay, you need more reasons to watch it? Here's all the fight scenes. Here's Michael Sheen being a fucking weirdo.
Dude,
Here's
awesome.
Olivia Wilde being kind of a weirdo too. Here's Jeff Bridges playing 3 different roles.
Well, and this is quite literally, here's Olivia Wilde. This is her first fucking thing she ever really
Yes.
did. And everyone's like, oh, who is
Who's
that?
this? Yeah.
The movie started her career.
Yeah, no, I love Tron
But
Legacy.
why are they not promoting it?
They
You
never
even
do.
have your number one ride in your main theme park is the Tron Legacy ride
Yeah.
in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have my fucking my Flynn t-shirt from it. And you're not promoting this shit.
No,
Promote the fuck out of it. This is your thing.
There seems to be, this is from, I'm purely speculating, but there seems to be, in my experience, this general sense of a self-fulfilling prophecy with Tron, where Disney goes out and makes a Tron product, and a handful of people get really excited, but it doesn't create the kind of buzz that Disney wants, and they're like, nobody cares about Tron. And it's like, no, the problem is that not enough people are seeing this. You're not building the buzz.
Exactly.
You have groundswell, but you're not building anything with it. So you have to, amp it up. Make toys. Make video games. A video game about people in a video game? Crazy, I know. Make a light cycle arcade game. Make all, you can do so many things. You're not doing any of them.
Can you imagine if right now there are millions of VR headsets in homes.
Yes.
If they make a Tron Light Cycle VR game.
Right?
In first person, holy
Yes.
shit, dude.
Any Tron thing in VR is perfect.
Yeah.
It's literally a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I remember going to Comic-Con in 2012, and they had a Tron animated show coming out starring Elijah Wood.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a panel, and people were there, and, mostly it was excited. It was a little tepid at times.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney, again, seems to look at these moments and say, people don't care about Tron. Bag it. Put it out there.
Make them care.
Make them care.
Yes.
Just give them a reason to care. And it can't just be, but it looks cool. Yes, but why else?
Yes.
Why else should I care?
I mean, they spent so much trying to push Snow White.
Yeah.
When from the start, it was obvious it wasn't going to succeed.
It was a massive clusterfuck, and they kept pouring money into it.
How are they not doing that with us? You have Jared Leto, who is an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
You have Jeff Bridges. You have Evan Peters. You have big names in this fucking movie. It's like, I know the last thing that Leto did was Morbius, which was a laughingstock. But prior to that was Blade Runner 2049, Dallas Buyer Club is Oscar winning. He is still a name.
There were a handful of really big moments for Jared Leto
Yes.
there. Where, like, I remember when 2049 came out, and there was just this kind of, like, is Jared Leto going to start playing villains? Because he'd be a really good villain.
Dude, he was so fucking good.
And then, no, he's going to go back to playing milquetoast heroes who are kind of terrible. And I think that is kind of why I'm a little worried about it, is because if Jared Leto is the middle of this movie, he, depending on how his role and his acting goes, he can be a problem. So I hope that's not the case, and I hope that the movie is either bolstered by his appearance or able to overcome it, whichever the case might be. But it does look fucking
it looks
cool.
So good.
It looks fucking cool.
It really is. It's for a massive fan of the franchise. I am so ashamed that they're not promoting this more than they have been.
Yeah. Well, that's Disney in a nutshell. They just don't. They don't promote Tron. They don't. Either they don't know how, or they don't think that it's worth the effort and money that it would take to promote it. And it's just like, or you can actually show faith in your project and put money behind it, and promotion, and it's a movie about being in a video game, and you're not going to do any digital tie-in stuff for it. Are you crazy? That's crazy. It's
fucking dumb.
You should have like a tie-in game on Disney Plus that you can play.
Well, in Fortnite, which I still play with my son, when you jump out of the battle bus, you start free falling, and then you open up it's a parachute it's supposed to be, but they have different things. Mine is, my guy surfs on a Tron light cycle.
Yeah.
And it's fucking badass. And every time I jump out of that battle bus, I just love surfing, because you see the light trail coming behind it, and you're on a fucking light cycle. It's like, a light cycle is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah. It's always been cool.
Yes!
Since it came out, the light cycle has always been cool.
Yes!
The entire time.
Like you said, how is there not a light cycle game?
How is there not a light cycle racing / battle game?
I don't get it.
How is that not a thing?
Yeah.
And you can get power-ups to make it so your light cycle trail lasts longer, or, you're able to permeate certain colors. There are so many things you could be doing. Dude. Rocket League, but with light cycles.
Oh my god.
What are we doing?
I can't even. It's so frustrating.
This is why I get so frustrated with Marvel. This is why I can't sit here and say Fantastic Four is going to be a good movie. Because Disney will more times than not have the entire table set for them, and then go off and make a bowl of cereal. And you're just like, but why? It's right there. You have it. It's right there. Just do it.
Frustrating.
So, one thing that I hope is not going to be frustrating is Stranger Things Season 5.
Yes.
We did get some news that I was waiting on, that I was very nervous about. It is not 3 long episodes.
Yes.
It is, I believe, 9 episodes?
Yes, but they're all fairly long.
Fairly long.
Yes.
But that was what was important to me.
Yes.
Was the length of the episode would be important to me if they pulled a Disney and they said it was a 40-minute episode, but then there was 20 minutes of credits, and you're just like, well, that's a 25-minute episode then, guys. It's not a 40-minute episode. Yeah. But Stranger Things, I genuinely think, is going to have like an hour minimum for each episode.
Oh, easy.
Like minimum.
Yeah.
And we're rewatching it now. God, I fucking love Stranger Things.
It's so great.
It might be one of my favorite shows of all time. Yeah. It's definitely top 10 pieces of media for me. I fucking love it.
It has some of the best individual moments.
Oh my god!
Of any show.
The characterizations, the people, the way that you care about the people. The thing that I've noticed most watching it this playthrough is you're kind of watching this whole town be under this hypnotic spell of suburbia, and people are just woken up out of the spell, and they're just watching everybody else go about their business because they're still under the spell of suburbia. And so I'm thinking specifically of Nancy realizing Barb is gone, and she's losing her mind. Yeah. And Steve is like, so what do you want to do on Saturday night? And she's like, what is fucking wrong with you? Yeah. How can you act like everything is fine? And because Steve doesn't know any better. Steve is still in the dream.
Well, and that's another thing. They were able to take a character that you despised in one season, and now everyone loves him. He's their favorite.
He is my favorite character.
Mine too.
Steve is my favorite character.
He's so great.
Rewatching season 1, I'm like, oh, this is why Hopper is my favorite character of season 1, is because he's just going around, and, my fucking favorite moment is he goes into Hawkins' lab, and he gets caught by the security guys, and they're like, who are you? And he's like, it's Jim Hopper. Chief Jim Hopper. And the guy is like, I don't know about this. And he's like, I'm here to see Brenner. He knows I'm coming. And the guy pulls up a walkie-talkie. Bam! bam!
Yeah, it's
Getting
awesome.
business done. And it's like,
love
you
him.
try diplomacy. You always try diplomacy. And then when diplomacy inevitably fails,
Just beat the shit out of him.
You do what you have to. And just the scene of him in season 2 carrying Will over his shoulder and a giant machine gun. And he's just running down the halls of Hawkins' lab with a child in one arm and a machine gun in the other. And it's like, this is what a man should be.
Yes. He's great. He's great. But you're right about, to me, I look back at one of the turning point scenes was it the end of the second season when Steve drops Dusty off at school?
Yes.
And right there, you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
love Steve. Now,
Yeah.
you get that realization. You're like, oh, he's being such a good friend to Dusty. He's his friend.
The moment for me is when he's with Nancy setting up the first room where they're going to interrogate Will.
Yes.
And he's just like talking about stuff and life and being a babysitter. And it has nothing to do with him trying to win back Nancy. He's not trying to get into her good graces. He's not sitting here bemoaning the fact that she chose Jonathan over him. He's just like, I was a bad boyfriend, but I'm a really good babysitter.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck yeah, dude.
He's fucking awesome.
Up top, Steve.
He's fucking awesome.
That's great.
So let me ask you this. This was actually something we kicked around work. Out of all the seasons, what is your favorite moment?
Oh my God.
Everyone had the same favorite moment, including me.
I see. It's recency bias, but it's Eddie on the trailer.
Yes.
It's recency bias, but
hard.
it's Eddie on the trailer.
It is hard to beat that.
Yeah.
I go back to prior to that probably would have been the Never Ending Story song.
Yeah, that's also
I
great.
love that moment so much.
Yeah. I'm not doing it unless you sing it, Dusty Buns.
Oh, it was so great. Such a great. And the reactions of like Hopper and
All
everyone.
the friends.
All the world is about to end and they have to sing this. Oh, it's so great.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, everyone was on the Metallica.
It's
so hard to beat that.
It's definitely recency bias, but like, God, it's such a great moment.
But that tells you how great the show is.
Yeah.
That moment, even though it is recency bias, it's like it's still in this later season.
And I think it's because by now the stakes have risen so high.
Yeah.
And Stranger Things is executing the game plan that it has never been able to execute, which is how do you take the threat from a child's point of view and graduate it to an adult's point of view. And Stranger Things is just doing that by this general kind of like march. There's no big jump. There's no like, oh, we're going to go to the adults and see how they handle it when they go to a Chinese restaurant and eyes are coming out of their fortune cookies. One of the biggest things about that moment is what it means for Eddie.
Yeah.
It's the moment when he takes the pick out and he says, Chrissy, this is for you. And it's like, fuck, man.
Dude.
That
it's so
above
great.
Anything else. And then you still get all the stuff with Max and Vecna, and you still get Dustin on the back of the trailer counting him down.
But just staring at him in awe.
Yes.
Watching what he's doing.
Yes.
Dude.
And
such a...
It's just, like, it's such a moment of just like, oh my God, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is what I love about this show. And I think if I had to pick a moment outside of that, it's tough. I would probably say I think it's two Steve scenes. I think it's the scene where Steve in season 1 shows up at Jonathan and Joyce's house, and he's there to apologize to Nancy. And he's like, I'm sorry that I wrote the thing on the sign. I'm an asshole, and I'm a terrible guy, and I'm trying to be better, and I just want to be better. Let's just talk. And then he sees the cut on her hand, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? He breaks his way in, and then all hell breaks loose, and he leaves, and he's unlocking his car, and he's fiddling with the keys, and he looks back, and the lights are going on and off again, which means the monster's coming back. And that moment when he comes back in, and he swings away Meryl. Oh, it's such a fucking great moment.
So great.
And also the moment when he's like, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. And it's just like, I love you, Steve.
You're so great.
But then in season 2, when Billy comes to the house while they're trying to execute the plan.
Yes.
And Steve is like, you have to go. And he puts up a good fight until Billy sucker punches him with a plate.
Yeah.
And gets a concussion, gets put in the back of his car, which Max is now driving. Or no, it's Billy's car.
Billy's car.
And he wakes up with a concussion. And Dustin is there being like, "Oh, you tried, buddy. You really put up a good fight. You did better than last time."
I love Dustin.
And they go out into the pumpkin patch, and Steve's like, "We are not doing this." And Dustin is just very calmly like, "Steve, a party member is in danger. We are morally obligated to go and help them in any way we can." And Steve's just like, "Fuck, everybody get behind me." Okay? And it's just like, fuck yeah, Steve.
He's so great.
That's fucking concussed and everything.
Yeah.
Show me Tua doing that. Tua's not going to go
he
do
ain't
that.
gonna do that shit.
Come on.
And that's the great thing about the show. Like, the main storyline with 11, I don't necessarily think is my favorite part of the show.
No.
It's like, it's a far away. It's the secondary characters.
It's definitely an element of the show that I think the biggest tell about the 11 stuff is that when it has to carry the show,
yes,
there is a general feeling of unrest within the audience, which is to say, I'm going to bring up season 2, episode 7. When we give 11 a chance to just have her story without anybody else's story getting in the way, it was a generally hated episode to the point where it's largely been retconned out of the show at this point. We have kind of gone in and retinkered with some of 11's backstory so that the stuff that happened in 2-7 still is relevant, but also we're not saying it didn't happen. We're just saying it's more complicated than it appeared. And I kind of felt that way in season 4 when they brought her to the desert. I was like, we better have other stuff going on because if this just becomes 11 in the desert, we're going to have the same problem. And I think it's largely because 11 is a hard character to emotionally connect to purposefully. That's the way 11 is written. But it doesn't change the fact that there's a lot of moments where you're just kind of looking at her trying to figure out what's she thinking, what's she doing, does she by season 4 it's different, but especially in the beginning, does she understand what's going on right now?
I'll be honest, and I could be off on this, but it's just a vibe I got. Part of me thinks it's the acting, Millie Bobby Brown. When she was the early seasons, she was a kid, never really acted before, never really done anything like, obviously nothing like this. It seemed more organic, and I felt for her more. But the older she got, especially at the end of season 4, where she was in that, okay, I'm Millie Bobby Brown, I'm Enola Holmes, I'm doing all these other things, I'm producing, I'm doing all this. It didn't feel as organic. It felt more like I'm an actor and I'm following my process. And that was the thing with a lot of the characters in this and a lot of the acting in this show is it felt very natural. It felt like, oh, I hung out with these kids, or I know that cop being Hopper. I know Joyce, and she seems like a real parent and how they would react in this. But then 7, it just, once again, I don't know if it's just me, but it's just something I noticed about her portrayal. I was like, it feels more forced. Like you're like, I'm an actress now and I need to do this like in a certain way. Stavslavsky and all this. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just I didn't really vibe with her storyline that last season.
Yeah,
but
I think that's a big part of it, is that there is elements of 11 storyline that are straight up cringy in the 4th season, to the point of just like, I'm going to skip this scene. I know what happens. I'm going to skip to after, because I don't want to watch it happen, because it's embarrassing. And it's supposed to be. That's the show is incredibly well written because that's what they're trying to get you to feel. But I would agree. I think that if this show ends with 11, that's justified. If this show ends and 11 is the biggest focus of it, I'd end up having a few questions, just because like Dustin and Steve and Lucas and Max, those are the characters that I probably care the most about. Yeah. And then after them is like Hopper and Joyce. Further down the list are like Mike and Jonathan and Nancy. Well, actually, I still care about all these characters.
Jonathan and Will last season, especially how it ended out, that focus I hope is more, because you're obviously Will is. Did it actually came? It didn't really come out saying that he's gay.
Well, so because of China, they couldn't say that.
That's right, but it's implicated.
It's highly implied that he's gay.
And in the relationship with his brother, because of that implication, took on a different element, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And I hope they lean more into their dynamic.
Yeah, it was this interesting thing of Jonathan had become a stoner.
Yes.
And Will wasn't sure he would understand that he was gay.
Yeah.
And didn't know if he could tell Jonathan that. And Jonathan was like, I don't fucking care if you're gay, dude.
Yeah.
I kind of already knew. It's the least well-kept secret in the show because literally in season 1, everybody is talking about how Will is probably gay.
Yeah.
And to the point where that's how Hopper addresses Joyce.
Yeah.
And he has more colorful language that he uses, but it's part of like, oh, well, he's a sensitive boy. Mm-hmm. Maybe he ran off and got lost in the woods. He's a sensitive boy. And, you know, I really just can't wait to see how all of this resolves because, not for nothing, season 4 ends with kind of a big deal. I need to see what happens with Max. I need to see what happens with Max. I'm curious about the time skip because it is a out-and-out necessity. There's no way around it. It has to happen.
It's been 2 years since the last episode?
It's been 2 years since the last episode, but more so, it's been 10 years since the show came out, and within the canon of the show, it's only been about 4 years.
That's true.
So that's a big problem.
That is true.
The woman who plays... what's Lucas's sister's name?
Oh, the little girl.
Erica.
Yeah, who's taller than all of them now.
Lucas's sister, Erica, just graduated high school
Yeah.
in real life.
In real life.
She's supposed to play an 8th grader.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work. So a time skip here is necessity.
Yep.
There's no way around it. You would have to have it. Otherwise, it would be a detriment to the show. So I wonder how they're going to navigate that.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to navigate new characters. I really wonder. There's this like rumor, this kind of hopeful rumor on the internet that some of the beloved characters of the past that have gotten the Stranger Things treatment are going to be brought back as kind of like relics or ghosts of things that have happened.
Well, Eddie definitely, especially now that he's the Human Torch. He's kind of the flavor of the week lately. He's the new Pedro Pascal. He's going in everything.
But I want to see Bob. I want to see if Bob comes back.
Dude, Bob is still... He's one of my favorite characters
I love
ever.
Bob.
Sean Astin as Bob was so good.
That moment where Hopper, they're in the closet and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get to the door, and Dr. Owens is like, well, even if we get to the door, the problem is that everything is locked and the computers are down. And Hopper's like, okay, so tell me how to get the computers up. And Bob is like, you can't. There's no way. And he's like, teach me what I need to know. And Bob's like, should I teach you some French? You want to learn some German too? No, there's no way for me to teach you basic enough for you to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I have to do it. And there's no complaining. There's no like, oh, this isn't what I wanted my life to be. He just takes the moment and says, I'm the only one that can handle this. I have to go and do it.
Yeah.
I have to eat my fear and my concern and my need for self-preservation and just go and do this thing. And God, that's not a fucking hero.
Dude,
I don't know what is.
He was such a great character arc.
Oh, man.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I can't wait.
Yes, can't wait either.
Do you want to take 15 minutes and we'll talk about the Phoenician scheme?
What time are we at right now?
We're at 1:45.
I think we should end it.
You want to end here?
I think we should
All
end
right.
it.
We'll come back to Phoenician.
Yeah, because I have a lot to talk about with Phoenician.
It was a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. There was... me and Kelly talked for about 20 minutes after.
It grew on me throughout watching it.
There were parts that I really loved, and then there were also parts that I just was grappling with.
Yeah.
And not in like a fun asteroid city, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But in a, is this going anywhere? And you know, so we'll get back to it.
We'll talk next week, folks. We'll talk about the Phoenician scheme. But we really hope you enjoyed this. Let's call, using our 80s terms since we were talking about my childhood, this was a very special episode.
This was a very special episode.
Nerdpod Generations.
Yes!
Nerdpod Generations.
We even took the audience aside at the beginning of the episode and said, hey guys,
yes.
I know this isn't what you really come here for, but we're all just going to get together really quick and have a very special episode about the rise of fascism in America.
Yeah. But for those of you listening, thank you for letting us get it off our chests.
Yes.
It's something we have been wanting to do for a long time, and we kind of got pushed into it this week.
Well, we really didn't have a choice, did we?
We didn't have a choice. We had to speak up for good and bad, just like we do with our entertainment, good and bad.
Yeah, believe me, I want to stay in my lane. You're making me get out of my lane.
Exactamundo. So once again, Nerdpod Generations episode 167 is in the books. If you like what you heard, please go to nerdpodgen.com, and there are links to everything going on in our little world, including YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, little links to our separate projects and whatnot. Not side. I gotta stop saying whatnot.
I
keep doing
didn't
that.
even think about it until you said that.
I know. So, anyways, Al, who does our artwork and music?
Our art is by Kortney Howell. Our music is by Brendan Williams and James Connolly. I am Alfred Judson.
And I'm Steve Taylor.
And until next week, friends and enemies, I guess stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Try and do what you can every
your
step of the
best.
way. Be a hero where you can. Stand up for others, and remember, be excellent to each other.
In the
and party
words
on.
of the Penguins, smile and wave, boys.
Yeah.
Just smile and wave.
Have a good week, friends and enemies.